Times Square. This is where they drop the ball New Year's Eve. Right from the top of this building, you can see they're all set up for it. I'm here in New York. I want to track down some locations from Mr. T and Emmanuel Lewis in A Christmas Dream because we're going to Radio City Music Hall. This, by the way, is where WWF New York used to be. Right here in Times Square. We used to have a big cup of noodles, big cup of ramen noodles over this way. I've never been here for New Year's Eve, but I have been here around Christmas, and I do love it. I'm going to match up a shot here of Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone when he was right here in this spot. Home Alone's not the only movie that had a Christmas scene here in this spot. The Godfather has a whole sequence where Kay and Michael go out, and it's over here on the left-hand side where he learns that the Don has been shot. He runs across the street to a payphone. They were out Christmas shopping right here. Mr. T and Emmanuel Lewis in A Christmas Dream, certainly not as acclaimed as The Godfather. It's one of my holiday favorites, though. I searched for it for years and found it on VHS, like when AOL first came around. Somebody sent it to me. And I just love it. It's a beautiful Christmas story, a very 80s Christmas special, and a lot of it takes place here at Radio City Music Hall, and most of it takes place right here at Rockefeller Center. It is obviously the Christmas destination. You see people here from everywhere. Over here is the world's famous St. Patrick's Cathedral. They started construction on this in 1958, but it didn't realize its true potential until it appeared in the opening title sequence of A Christmas Dream. They had to stop working on it during the Civil War, not A Christmas Dream, but the actual cathedral. But they did finally finish it and open it to the public 1910, and it's been a fixture ever since. Here's Mr. T as Benny, the Santa Claus. He was standing right over here by the ice rink. Emmanuel Lewis's character approaches Benny and says, "Hey, mister, is this a good job?" And we learn that he's a latchkey kid who just doesn't love Christmas. So Mr. T's character, Benny, takes an interest in trying to get Emmanuel Lewis's character into the Christmas spirit, and the special follows with him taking him to see the Rockettes, taking him to a backstage party. They go on a horse and carriage ride right down the street here. They also go into the original FAO Schwartz. Not really the original. FAO Schwartz has been in 50 different locations since the 80s, but there used to be one down here that actually just closed a couple years after they filmed this special, and then they opened the second one, which is the one that you saw in the movie Big, with the giant piano, and then there were other locations that followed. We're on this street right here. Mr. T and Emmanuel Lewis walked down. They walked right past this door here on their way into the back where they met Willie Tyler and Lester. Now, that was shot on a soundstage, but they walked right up this street. You saw Radio City Music Hall. You saw this door, and you see a couple little things I wanted to point out. There's a fire plug and a couple doorways and steps and frames. They're all right along here. We're waiting in line because we're going to be seeing the Rockettes' big Christmas spectacular. I've seen this once before. There's the fire plug I'm talking about. It's up ahead. I guess I don't know if it's a fire plug you'd call that, but it's a thing where you turn on the sprinklers and hook up a hose to that, and it's still here. It's right along this wall, and we'll get to it in a bit. This show is world famous. They've been doing it since the 20s, and it has had portions that have remained since then that are shown in the Mr. T special, and we'll see in person today, which I'm pretty excited about. I'm going to see what filming I can do inside, what I can show you of the show. But definitely one of those things that everybody, if you get into New York around the holidays, you definitely want to try to come and see this special. And that's why Mr. T took Emmanuel Lewis to see it and put him in the Christmas spirit. Here's that fire plug. All right, here it is. That's the same one you see in that picture. And so Mr. T and Emmanuel Lewis, 1984, walking right past here on their way inside. Radio City Music Hall has just been such a big part of pop culture. I remember in Rocky III, you see that Rocky had a fight here, and also that movie co-stars Mr. T. I also remember the scene from Annie with "Let's all go to the movies," and Daddy Warbucks gets the whole entourage in the car, and they come out here to Radio City Music Hall. Here is the ornate lobby of Radio City Music Hall. We do see this in the Mr. T, Emmanuel Lewis, A Christmas Dream special. He starts out at the top of the stairs and looks down at the lobby. I'll put the shot of it in here so you can see him. And yeah, he sees all the ornateness of this. Of course, you don't get to see it in high definition or even very good definition on any of the copies that are on YouTube. Hopefully this thing gets a real release of some kind one day. But yeah, he was right here in this lobby, and then he went right into the theater, and he sat way down front as they rehearsed their number, and then he dreamed about it. I asked if they would let me come down to see the area where he was sitting, which was way down here in the front. He was sitting about second or third row. It's remarkable to think of all the acts that performed on this stage, like Elmo Palooza, or of course the very famous Barney live at Radio City Music Hall, right here. Or everybody's favorite, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming out of their shell tour. This is where that took place. When you've seen that home video, that was right here on this stage.
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Good show. It's a lot of fun. Santa was in there.
I was already thinking through the days afterwards.
We're going to walk over to the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree, which is where Mr. T and Emmanuel Lewis and A Christmas Dream ends. But on the way, we're passing by another one of these sprinkler outputs, and you can see this in the background of a very famous commercial. I'm going to show you. The commercial starts out with a shot that starts from right here.
Are you sure it's gonna work, Grandpa?
Trust me, kiddo.
And then Art Carney turns the corner here and pours some Coca-Cola on a pine cone, and next thing you know,
It's time. Let's go.
the end of Mr. T and Emmanuel Lewis and A Christmas Dream takes place right here, where Emmanuel Lewis, reunited with his parents and loving Christmas, looks up at this tree. This tree has, of course, appeared throughout popular culture in so many different ways. The tree here, so this, in the end of Home Alone 2, you see the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. They go to it because she says that Kevin is going to be wherever the biggest Christmas tree is, and she finds him right here. Enjoy these videos, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Be like the Fonz. Give it a thumbs up and go, hey! I would very much appreciate it, because if you give it a thumbs up, YouTube will share it with somebody else, and if they give it a thumbs up, then it gets shared again and again, and more people see this, which I would appreciate. That's going to do it for this one. Boy, this was fun. It's a good day. It looks very nice this time of year. I want to go back though when it's not as crowded. I'm hoping that's any other time of year. Right now there's going to be a box here and a box here. Now, YouTube says this is the one that you should choose. I say this one. I'm going to pick one that I think you guys should see here. You choose either one, though. I'll be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Have some fun. New adventure. I'll see you tomorrow at 2. Choose a box.